Hello there, Carolina from Seed Adventures, hopping on here just for a few minutes to show you my ideas for your honeymoon to Argentina. Let me share my screen. We'll go through the itinerary together. This will give you just great insight on what's included, how we can tweak it. This is your trip, so we can, of course, make any changes you'd like. So you mentioned November 2026. I know it's way far off, but we already have people planning, so it's not crazy to do that. It will allow you to get 2025 rates for 2026 dates. So it's a good idea to plan ahead, especially if you're going to a very popular place like Patagonia with a very short season, which, is flipped. So our winter is their summer, and that is Patagonia season. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that wonderful weather. So this particular trip is for Argentina. You don't need any vaccinations. You don't need any visas. All you will need is your passport. So it's quite easy to travel here. And I incorporated three areas: Buenos Aires, Patagonia, which is Calafate, and Iguazu Falls. And I'll show you a little bit how that will work. So overnight flight to Buenos Aires, and you arrive on day 2. It is wonderful to travel south to South America because there's no jet lag. We're going to be on the same time, maybe an hour off or so. Otherwise, it's very easy. You're not switching time zones, and it's much easier on the body. There's no high altitude on this trip, so you're not acclimating. So we can just jump right in. Once you arrive at the airport, my team will be waiting there for you with a big sign with your names on it. Take you to the hotel, we'll check in, freshen up, and afternoon, because most likely your flight will arrive maybe 10 a.m., so you'll have that whole afternoon. We'll show you some of the highlights of the city. Buenos Aires is massive, so we like to split it into two areas. The north area, which is those gorgeous buildings and architecture and gardens and parks, and the Evita famous cemetery. So that is all in the Palermo Recoleta region, and we will visit that in the first day of your arrival, simply because there's less walking required. We can hop around with our private guide, private car, and have a beautiful lunch in a bodegon, which is like a traditional Argentinian restaurant. It used to be someone's home, and now it runs like a restaurant. So it's a great place to have traditional food. And then check in and have an afternoon free at your hotel, or maybe, have a second win and walk out on your own. Madero Hotel, right on the river, 5-star property, great location, great restaurant. They have a cellar inside the restaurant, so you can go wine tasting. So I try to incorporate places that have a lot of charm, a lot of charisma, especially for honeymoon. You want to have something that is quite special. I have taken many groups to Argentina, and we've stayed here at the Madero, so I highly recommend it. That second day, we're going to sightsee the other side of the city, which is the south area, which is the colorful Puerto Madero and Boca. We're going to go inside the market. This is a very lively, colorful area. Again, private guide, private driver. We're going to see some sites by foot. Then we're going to jump in a car, go to another area. We're going to have lunch inside the San Telmo Market. And that's really special because the market has like 100 different stands, and you can sit down and the guide will just bring you a bunch of things for you to taste. There's great beer, there's great wine, there's great tapas like their salchichon sausage, and all kinds of fun, provolone cheese that's been baked. So really wonderful food, great way to see the city. And now you will have seen the north and the south. This will give you some time when you have free time to explore. You'll feel a lot more comfortable in the city. And then tonight, inside the Faena Hotel, which is just a few blocks from your hotel, but will provide transportation, is Rojo Tango, and that is the #1 tango show in Buenos Aires. Highly recommended. Beautiful place. And we will take you there for your dinner and for your show. Just to give you an idea, a large tango hall holds maybe 500 people. Rojo Tango holds 90 people. So it's very intimate, very romantic. You will actually see a lot of Argentinians going there for a date night. So great place for a honeymoon spot. And then November 4th and 5th, I left free so you can explore on your own, go to the museums, go to the parks, lay around, do some wine tasting. On November 4th, I included a really fun dinner, the Fogon. This is a closed door experience, reservation only, where you sit and you're kind of part of the experience. The chefs will be making all kinds of fun things. You'll be helping, chopping, and wine tasting along the way, and all kinds of fun things. You're there probably for 2 to 3 hours. It's quite the experience. You got to eat kind of food from around Argentina, and we just love it. And I think it's a great thing for you to incorporate, especially if you guys are foodies and love wine. This is the thing to do. And on November 5th, again, you have a free day in Buenos Aires. If you want, I can take you to a local estancia. I can give you permits to go into Uruguay for the day so you can take the ferry. There's some really wonderful things. If you love tango, we can do a tango class. We can go to milonga. We can go to speakeasies. Buenos Aires is a thriving city, fantastic for walking around. So I think you can have some real nice experiences here. And now that we're leaving the city behind, November 6th, we're going to take you to the domestic airport and fly you down to Patagonia to the airport of Calafate. So Calafate is a great little town on a glacier lake. It's home to the Glacier National Park where Perito Moreno is, and it's kind of a hub for all sorts of adventure. So you're going to spend 4 nights there. When you first arrive, we'll take you to a hotel, check in, and then we're going to have our lakes and caves tour. This is a 4x4 experience. It's shared, so maybe other people on your Jeep with you with a great local guide take you to the balcony of Calafate. Amazing photography, a little bit of hiking, some cliffs, and then go to the caves where there is dinner served inside the caves. Really fun experience, gets you out, really makes you feel like you're in Patagonia. So it's a nice, really nice welcome. And then the hotel I chose is the Espendor. It's a great it was an Argentinian hotel. I think the Wyndham just recently purchased it, but it has a lot of local charm, like the local furs and colors and wood, and very warm, full of character hotel. Great for a honeymoon, great location. You can head into town for dinners. If you can stay inside for dinners, so it can be a great place for a honeymoon. And you're going to be there for 4 nights. So the first day is our arrival in our caves and lakes. The second day, we're going to go visit the most famous glacier in the world, Perito Moreno Glacier. And this is a full day excursion. You're going to go on the catwalks. You're going to go on a boat ride. You're going to have lunch inside the park. The glacier is always active, always cracking and moving. There's lots of activity happening here. If you are very active, we can upgrade this day. Instead of just going on the catwalks, you put on crampons and you actually walk on the ice. So if you guys are adventurous, we can certainly do that. And this is the boat ride to the face of the glacier. And then on November 8th, we're going to leave the town behind and go really remote to Estancia Cristina. Estancia Cristina is a little lodge that can only be reached by boat and only can be reached when there is no massive iceberg blocking the road, which happens all the time. And so there you go for trekking, you go see fossils, you go have a traditional Argentinian lunch. You really get to see huge icebergs and another glacier called Upsala. So it's a real great adventure. I again love this tour. This is so well done. You go by a really nice boat. You go to the estancia. You go to hikes on all kinds of different trails, and then come back to Calafate for the night. And then on your last day in Calafate, we can sleep in a little bit and then start in the afternoon and go to Cerro Frias. Cerro Frias is another little estancia, but this one can be reached by land, and it has stunning views. On a clear day, you can see Torres del Paine, and here you can zip line, you can ride horses. You have a outdoor traditional Argentinian lunch, or we can do it early in the morning and have breakfast, or we can do it in the evening and have dinner. So they do a really nice experience here. So it's full circle. You can ride horses, you can be on boats, you can hike, you can glacier hike. So this gives you a really nice gaucho experience of Patagonia. So let me know what you think about that, because Calafate is our #1 place in Patagonia in Argentina. But of course, there's also Ushuaia, there's Puerto Madryn, there's Chalten. So there's a different place all over our, Patagonia that we can incorporate. And our day 10, we're going to travel from Calafate to Iguazu. The flight stops in Buenos Aires. And now we're in the tropics. Now we're in a warm season. Now we're going to be defrost after all the ice and glaciers and spend 4 nights in Iguazu Falls, arriving, hanging out in the hotel, which is a great little jungle lodge, Mercure Hotel. And then dedicate November 11th to the Iguazu Falls of Argentina. It's a massive park. You get to see it by boat. You get to see it, get completely soaked under the waterfalls and all the nooks and crannies and catwalks that go out in the waterfalls. You spend really a whole day there, have lunch in the park, and come back to the hotel. And November 12th, we're going to cross the border into Brazil and see a panoramic view of all the falls at once and have a nice lunch on the Brazil side, just so you can get a taste of the Brazilian part of Iguazu Falls and then come back to your hotel. And then I left day 13 free. So you can go to the spa, so you can go to the pool, so you can relax because the following day, November 14th, you are flying to, back home. So you want to make sure that you are rested. So that is what the trip looks like. I hope you like these ideas. Of course, we can tweak it in any way you'd like. Thank you so much for listening. I know you're so busy with all your plans, and I look forward to your feedback. Thanks for listening. Happy travels.